Welcome back to the React programming series from ground up. Now that we have learned the basics of React already, let's make a useful gaming app with React. This is one sample app which is indicated in React documents as well. This one is important because it covers all the basics including functional components, properties, hooks, etc. Let's get started. So I'll start with the demo of what we are going to achieve first and the dev tools also. What are dev tools and how to install them? These are the two things we should start with. This is the demo app as you can see. It's a tic-tac-toe. So the first player, the next player is indicated here. The next player, let's say, plays this. The first player plays this. The second player, let's play this. And the winner is X because it's in a row. This is the demo of the game. Now let's see React DevTools. You can install by going here. You can say add to Chrome, add extension. So this is added. Now if I go to the developer tools by right clicking and inspect, I should be able to see components and profiler. So component is the one which we wanted to see. So these are the different components which are there in the app. So we'll see them as we go in detail and we are able to see the properties as well. So I'll start with this. I'll create a new application. This we had seen earlier as well. So node and npm by now it should be with you. This CRA also should be with you. We had done it in a previous chapter. Now what we'll do is we'll create a new application by the name tic-tac-toe and then we will uh, modify that to create this game. Let's get started. This is done. Now let me open it in Visual Studio Code. So I have opened the project here. Like you know, we have a source folder and a public folder. The important file here is the index.html. We had discussed it in the past also. We have this app.js containing one component uh, and which is being rendered here. So where is it getting rendered? In this element, root element, and root is where? Root is in the index.html. So this is the root. So I'll quickly show how the application looks like and then I will clean up. So this is the application. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean up the application now, meaning I'll delete almost everything except the app.js and except the index.html. So let me get started. So I have deleted and I have removed all the different elements which I thought was not required to make this base application. So now if we see, this is how the application looks like. And there is only one component by the name app. So I'll go here, I'll create a file called, let's say, tic-tac-toe.js. And what I'll do is I will create a simple functionality for, so I have written this export directly with the function name. You can write it down like we were doing till now, or you can write it here as well. So I have written it here. Now, if I have to use it, you already know how to use it. So let's say I want to use it here. So what I'll do, Square is my this name. And when I included Square, this already came automatically. If I save it now, so I can see this Square is created. Okay, let me just move it down. So I just moved it down. Now this was one square, but it is not like a real it is not like a real board. So let me create 9 squares, and each square would be same. So for example, there is a button here. So instead of one button, I'll create 9 buttons. So what I did, I have placed a div and 9 buttons are there. Okay, so these class names which are put here, they are meant for CSS, but I don't have this CSS right now. So square or board row, though no CSS is there. So there won't be any CSS right now, but let's see how it looks. So I saved it. Now I should see the board. So this is the board. I have all the 9 pieces and they're coming in different lines because they are part of different div sections. So you can see first 3 on one div, second 3 on second, and the third 3 on the third div. Now let's quickly do one thing. Instead of calling it a square, I'll call it a board because it is not a square now, it is a board. Now you will notice that here it is board and here it is square. Still it will work because there is only one export which we are having. So we can rename if there is only one export. So board is the only export. So I can call it square, I can call it A, B, C, D, whatever name I want to give, it will still work. Okay, so if I do this, I refresh, still this is coming here. Okay, so but for removing any unclarity, let me call it board. Now what I want to do here is, because on click of these buttons something should happen. So what I want to do is I want to create, instead of having one component for board, I would like to create a square component and a board component so that both are uh, functionally independent. So there is where we get a single responsibility principle. So squares are where in the component called square. And what I'm doing, I'm passing a value here, which is a property here. This is another way of passing the property. So in the brackets, and what are the properties? Value equal to 1, 2, 3. So I'm calling a square, which is this, and with value this. And you see this is not a export, so it is used within. So there is no export which is kept here. Let me quickly format. So the same thing, only thing is it is moved to individual components properly. Now what I would like to do is that right now what is happening is automatically all the numbers are getting printed. So I want to have that done on click. Okay, which means on click I should be having the things printed. So let me get the code first, then I'll explain you. Yeah, so we had discussed use state in the past. So that's what we are going to do. We have state which is called value. It is initialized to null, and later we can set the value by using the set value function. Okay, so that's what can be the state. We have defined a function called handle click, and it sets the value to x. Now what we do here is this is we are returning a, button with a value, and value would be what? Value would come from here. So initially it will be null, meaning nothing, and later when you do a set value, when you click on it, the handle click will be called, and handle click will set the value to x. So that's where handling, the event handling has been done here. We are handling the handle click, and we are doing the value setting as x on the click of the button. So again the same thing. This we have seen already, that board has 9 component, but now we are not feeding the value here. Instead of feeding the value here, what we are doing now, we are feeding the value here with the help of handle click. So let's see. So now you see all these things are blank now. Let me make it a little big. So you see everything is blank. If I click here, it is getting a value. With the handle click, we are getting a value here, which is x. Okay, that's what has been achieved now. Okay, so we had seen this already. We had a click event handler here, and now what is happening is that the click event handler is being passed from the board, which this is like a property which is being passed here. Okay, and let's see what is the property which we pass. So there is a state which we are using. Set x is next. So we want to have one time x and another time o. So that's where x is next or o is next is being chosen. And we create a squares. And squares is what? Squares is like 9 squares we have to create, and we have to keep the value of that square, whether x has been clicked or o has been clicked. So for that we create an array, and the array is filled with null in the beginning. So handle click, what handle click does is, if it is null, okay, I'm sorry, if it has a value, then it returns, because it is already a X or a O, then it need not do anything. Otherwise, what it does is, it will, uh, it will, based on if X is next, it will make it X, or it will make it O, next square, and then it will set the squares. Okay, and set the value of x also, so that next time a o should be chosen. We are setting it to false, so every time it will become true false true false. This command will reset the value of x is next anytime it executes, from true to false and false to true. Okay, so we have, now what we have done is, we created a copy of next squares and filled the appropriate value here with x or o. Okay, and that's exactly what we are doing here. We are passing the handler now. So let's see how it looks right now. So now we have the basic layout of the game complete, wherein we are able to have X and O, like you can see. Now what we have to do is, we have to place some rules to declare a winner. And winner is based on the condition that the 3 rows are there or not. We have to have the condition of the thing decided. So let's see the code. So again, the similar thing, this we already discussed in the past. This also we had discussed. Now only additional thing which we do is the calculate winner. Okay. And if the winner is chosen, we display in the status bar that winner is this. Else we say next player is who, whether it is X or O, depending on the variable is next, X is next. Okay. So this is what we had seen already. We had seen this board function already, and calculate winner is based on this. 0 1 2 is the first horizontal line, 3 4 5 is second, and 6 7 8 is third, and this is standing line 0 3 6 1 4 7. This is 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. So based on that, let's say 2 4 6. 2 is this, 0 1 2, 3 4 4 is this, 5 6. So this is, this tilted is 2 4 6. Okay, so you can understand what exactly what means what. So based on this condition, we see whether squares is null. If squares is having a value, if it is having a null, then it will return, it will not execute this and return null. That means nobody's a winner, because uh, that particular thing has not been filled. So, but it will check, it will go across all the lines and validate if any of this condition is met. If it is met, then it will return that this has been a success, or it is a winner has been identified, and based on that the winner name shall be written on the screen. So let's see. So I will try to make the X winner. So see if winner is X. So it is come. Now I can't click because nothing will happen now. So now what is missing is two things. The first thing is giving it a proper CSS, and second is having the states also ready. So let me put a source code for that, and we will quickly see the source code. So now what I'll do is, I will create a new tic-tac-toe, TTT ttt2.js, and I'll place the code here. Along with this, what I'm going to do, so in this one, I have used some CSS. So that CSS also let me take. And this export is basically here, if you see, the export name is game. Okay, so let me use that here, where I will use it in the same place in the app. So I'll say, let me say here, so the completed game is where the whole complete game is present in this specific JS file. Okay, we have different components and only one component is which we export, and the name of the exported component is game, which I have imported here in JS app.js, and I am using the partially completed and the full completed both. So I have saved everything. Let's see on the browser. I have to do the import, so let me quickly do the import. So I have written a board here, so that's where it is giving a problem. I'll call it a game because game is what I want to name it as well. So I have imported game from TTT2. Now let's see. So what I have to do is I have to make it little small. I made it very, very big, and that's where this problem came. Now if you see here, because I have put a CSS, I am seeing for the partially completed game and the fully completed game, for both of them I'm seeing the CSS reflected properly. So let's see, this is the completed game. We will see here. So this, then O, then I have the chance to play X, which I'll play here, and O, I don't want O to win, so I will say O here and I will make a X. So winner of the game is X. Okay, and you can backtrack also. So you can go to this move and start from here. Let's say O clicks here, then X clicks here, O clicks here, X clicks here, and winner is X. And previous game was not having the state of the game. It was like this: X, O, I put X here, I put O here, I put a X here, I put a O. So it was giving winner as O. So that was also complete. Only thing was state was not there and initially the CSS was not present. Now let's see the final version of the game, which is this quickly. So this is the final version of the game. I'll skip whatever we have seen already. We have seen all these things already. Square, we have seen the board, we have seen calculate winner, and we have one thing which is different here is, let me quickly go to that place. So this is what I have done here. Background color is what I'm changing. So on click, there is a background color which changes. So how it changes from red, for X it is red and for O it is green. How is because of this. And then I give a background style here. And based on this X or O, the style, the background of the button changes. So this is one thing which we had. The second thing which we had was keeping the state. So we are keeping the state here and then we are able to jump to that state also. So that concludes, I don't want to make it a very big thing, so I would conclude it here itself. If there are any questions, probably I can take it as comments. Thank you very much.